Mallett were looking for a place to live, but every time Mr. Mallett thought it was a good place to live, Mrs. Mallett said it was a horrible place to live, but there was sure to be foxes in the woods and turtles in the water. When they got to Boston, they were too tired to fly anymore. There was a nice pond in a lovely garden with a nice island on it. A nice place to stay for the night. So down they slept. The next morning, they tried to fish for breakfast at the bottom of the pond, but they didn't find much. Just when they started to give up and go further, a strange, huge bird came by pushing a boat full of people. Good morning. The bird didn't say anything, but the people on the boat started throwing peanuts. I like this place. Why don't we build a nest here and raise our ducklings right here in this pond? There are no foxes or turtles to harm us. What could be better? Good. Good. Look out! You'll get run over. This is no place for babies with all those horrid things rushing around. We'll have to move somewhere else. Act 2. So they flew around and around and could find no place to live. Then they flew over Charles River. This is better. The island looks big and plain. And just a few blocks from the public garden. Yes, this looks like a good place to have shelter. So they chose a cozy spot near bushes and water and settled down to build their nest. It was just in time because their feathers had just started to fall off and they could not fly again till the new ones grew in. They could of course swim, so they swam to a park on the riverbank where they met Officer Michael, who saved their parents every day. Once Mrs. Mallett laid her 8 eggs, she could no longer visit Officer Michael because she had to keep her eggs warm. Finally, the ducklings hatched out. First came Jack, quack, then Cat, quack, and then Lack, quack, then Mac, quack, and then Knack, and Owack, quack, and Pat, and Quack. Quack. Mr. and Mrs. Mallett were... One day, Mr. Mallett decided to go through the rest of the river. I need you to leave in the garden. Take good care of the ducklings. Don't worry, I know all about bringing up children. Act 3. Mrs. Mallett taught her baby how to swim, dive, get in line when they were ready, and get in line when she called them. When she felt they were ready, she said one morning, "Come on, children, come on." She led the way into the water and waddled offshore until they got to the highway. Miss Mallett stepped out to cross the road. Honk, honk, quack, 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 quack. The cars kept speeding by and Mrs. Mallett and the ducklings kept right on quacking. They made such a noise that Michael heard them and came running and waving his arms. Once the ducklings were safely across the street, Michael rushed back to the police booth and called headquarters.
There's a family of ducks walking down the street.
Family of what?
Of ducks. Send car quick.
Meanwhile, Mrs. Mallett had reached a corner bookshop with her ducklings behind. When they came to the corner of Beacon Street, the policemen were waiting for them. As Miss Mallory ducklings were marched into the public garden and reached the gate, Mrs. Mallory and the ducklings said thank you. Thank you. When they reached the pond and swam across to the little island, there was Mr. Mallard waiting just as he promised. The ducklings liked the new island so much they decided to live there. All day they followed the swan boats and ate peanuts.